What's up, everybody? We will be going live with our show here in about 7 minutes. The Auburn Blitz show, as always, at noon. But we are on location. And Faith, you and we are. I guess last week was our official start of our own locations, starting for late spring all the way through football season. We're going to be on the road, majority on Fridays, but sometimes it will be on Thursdays or maybe special events. We'll be coming back down here to this area mid-May for a special event that's going to be coming up with Riley Green.
Riley Green will be there, yeah.
With one of the businesses that's just right up from the Lake Martin Grocery here. But we're glad to be here in Lake Martin Grocery, and this place is just awesome. It's such a cool place.
It is. It's new. We came in here, I guess, like a month ago.
Yes.
Or something.
Right. Time flies, right?
Yeah, and everything here now, like this entire strip is kind of just fully developed out now, and this grocery store is just, you can't beat the prices here.
No. You're going to be getting a shotgun sound every once in a while when everybody walks in. They're not shooting anybody, but they're getting not a golf cart, they're getting a buggy, a shopping cart here as they enter Lake Martin Grocery. And again, what a need for a place like this on Highway 49, just up from Stillwater's. It wasn't a place for the people down in this area really to shop. And, Eric McKinley came in and had a vision on this thing and built, and everybody raves about it. And they have fresh food in their produce department. It's just really cool. And top of the line, everything. They didn't mince anything when they put all this together. So well thought out. Come here. It's about to be lake season. I think we can officially say it's lake season. Usually the unofficial start of lake season is Memorial Day, right? Which is coming up in a few weeks.
Yeah, it is.
We can go ahead and say it's lake season now.
I haven't been on the lake, so I can't say that yet. So
I have, so I can.
Okay, lucky you.
So
where was my invite?
We're just trying to test drive the boat to make sure everything was all good.
We can see one of the holes on the golf course right here.
It's like literally right through the.
I'm watching.
That's right. You watching somebody tee off,
so that I can do a little bit better when it's my.
You're trying to learn a little bit. Yeah. So bunkers, the actual golf course, whatever. Right. You can showcase your skills.
Oh yeah. I was talking about it earlier.
So I've got my Tampa stuff on. You're an unofficial Tampa fan now, right?
I'm in my Auburn stuff. I'm an official Auburn fan.
Right. You're an official Auburn fan. Everybody knew that already. When I look at the draft last night, I know we're going to talk a lot about that because Auburn didn't have anybody. And so you and I talked about it on the podcast this morning, and why have we not had better, success on the field correlates to what we see go on with NFL draft. So we're going to dive into that. We're going to talk about that a lot more throughout the show when we get started for TV at noon. So if you'll just hang on with that. Auburn baseball in action along with Auburn softball this weekend and golf. Let's look for an update here as real time. Auburn had taken the lead over LSU in stroke play. And let me see if I can get that pulled back up. I sent it over to you earlier. Auburn had taken like a 5-stroke lead in the stroke play, and this is the final day of stroke play. And then they will move to match play on Saturday and Sunday. So I'm trying to pull up the SEC stuff here, so bear with me a little bit. Here we go. That's the old link.
You didn't even send me that link.
There it is. Auburn is at 36 under now. LSU is at 28 under. Oklahoma 22 and Texas A&M 22. So Auburn definitely looks like, I don't know if it's over yet or not. Don't have it real time.
Boy Vaughn running to the top.
Yeah, Jackson is at 10 under. Carson Baca was leading at 9 under, and they've passed him along with Drew Goodman. So, but Auburn and Brendan Valdez
catching up.
Yep, crashing the top 10. Yep, so good for Auburn men's golf. Again, this is stroke play, and then they'll shift into match play on Saturday and Sunday, and looking forward to that. Again, defending SEC and defending national champs, and We love Coach Kleinert. He's been on the show with us a bunch, and may have his Auburn Blitz hat on today. I don't know.
He might. We should text him.
Yeah, we should. I think he's a little busy right now. I don't want to mess with him right now.
Yeah, it might get in the way of the winning that's happening.
He'd probably like, really? Or does he text me to ask me if I'm wearing the hat and we're like trying to win the SEC? But anyway.
So you gave him another one.
I did. So
okay. Yep. That's good.
So yeah, and he's gonna trade with us. He's gonna trade with us. He's gonna trade with us. He's busy, so we'll get them from him. But all right, so we're a couple minutes out from getting our TV side started. Again, we want to thank everybody. We're here at Lake Martin Grocery on Highway 49, just down from Dayville, just right here at the gates of Stillwaters. As Faith said, we're looking out, and you can see one of the holes on the course at Stillwaters. Just a happening area, all kind of things going on. The new steakhouse down at Stillwaters, Prime Steakhouse, is outstanding, by the way. Just great food. We were there this past Friday. So
not we.
I was. Where were you Friday? I can't remember.
Not invited.
Okay. So I walked into that. But anyway, I was along with my wife and friends at Prime Steakhouse. It was really good. Every time we go down there, it's really good. I think did Eric say they went through 1,500 oysters?
Mm-hmm.
Opening night or weekend or whatever.
Or something, yeah.
Good Lord, man. But they was packed when we were down there. The pork chop's unbelievable. The steaks are unbelievable. They've got all types of different dishes and stuff. So just really, really, really good stuff. If you haven't been to Prime Steakhouse, again, with the traffic and all picking up on 49 with summer coming, and then everything up here in this shopping center. The outdoor kitchen place that's opening, that's why Riley Green's coming to do the show, or actually to be on hand for the grand opening, is the reason he's here. So that's going to be a cool thing, and you can ride out here and you can see an example of one of those outdoor kitchens. That thing's awesome.
Oh my gosh, that thing is huge and the prettiest thing ever. So
we're about 10 seconds from getting started with our intro, and then we'll be ready to rock and roll.
Can you hear that right now?
Probably. Okay, now we're rolling. Mute it. Mm-hmm. Okay. All right, 30 seconds, and then we'll be live for TV and all. So everybody.
You just said it on you.
No, 30 seconds for the intro. Right, it just turned 12. We have to go. All right, everybody. Hello and welcome into the Auburn Blitz, brought to you by Russell Dewitt Center and Building Supply Stores, J.A. Smith Construction and Excavation, and
Cincy Green for air that's cool and clean.
I won't take that away from you anymore. I'm going to let you do that one from now on. You enjoy that. Hey, we were at a draft party last night. I want to thank Travis Wisdom for the invite to that over at Baumhauer's and Kevin Tudhope. We call him Tud. It was a big group there, big crowd there.
Yeah.
We enjoyed it. Caught up with some of the Cincy Green guys, and but again, adding some more partners. And we are live on location. If you're wondering, like, where are they at? What's going on? We are at Lake Martin Grocery here, just down from Dayville, Alabama, on Highway 49. It is lake season unofficially. Really, I guess people like to say lake season starts from Memorial Day, but around here it just keeps getting further up into April, because the weather has been really good. The lake is full now, and more people are gravitating toward it, trying to make the most of it as they can. So just a really, really awesome place to be in this area. And Lake Martin Grocery is awesome. They needed a place like this for all the residents up and down this road and all the neighborhoods. And now it's very convenient, but it's top of the line stuff, Faith. It's not just like some hole in the wall. This is a really cool grocery store.
Yeah, we walked in here about a month ago, and when we were walking up and down the aisles, I was looking at Brett. I said, these prices are amazing. Because normally when you go to the grocery store up by the lake or at the beach or something,
it's going to be jacked
they
up.
Jack all the prices up. But the
Not
prices
here
here are awesome. And of course, we're going to talk about the hospitality and the staff and everything.
Right.
Everyone here is so nice and awesome. So makes it even better.
Yeah, it does. Again, I think you said it. I mean, especially a niche grocery store like this, you would expect prices to be skyrocketed, but it's not. It's extremely affordable. They've got all the top of the line things that you need. They got fresh produce here, so you don't want for anything here. So they can take care of everything you need here, and we're glad to be partnered up with them with our on the road for now in the foreseeable future. I mean, yeah, last week we were at JR's. What a huge crowd was at JR's for lunch, and that's usually the norm. I wasn't surprised by that, but we're going to be floating around to a lot of different places and partnering up. It's going to be a lot of fun for us. We enjoy being on the road and being at these different venues.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a lot of fun. And again, we get to go out and meet a lot of great people throughout it. And yeah, I mean, I'm just watching some golf in the back over here.
I mean, tough day at the office, right?
It really is.
Tough day at the office. Well,
Lucy thinks so too.
Yeah, and the sidekick Lucy is here with us. So Lucy travels most everywhere.
Her leg out. Yeah.
Yeah. She'll give you a helicopter here in just a little bit as well. As you can see, yep. Got my Tampa stuff on last night. The NFL draft. We'll go over that. Unfortunately for Auburn, nobody to be found in the first round, and that's a trend now that's been going on for 5 years, all the way back to 2020. So
a long 5 years.
A long 5 years. It's been a long 5 years.
It's been a hard 5 years.
Period for Auburn football when you look at it. But yeah, again, 5 years. Nobody in the first round. Have had several drafted, but when you look at the opponents Auburn has to play on a year in and year out basis and what they've been able to produce and the number of quality players they're putting in the NFL draft, it's really not hard to see why the record is what it is. The teams we've been playing have just been better, period. And we haven't helped ourselves with some of the things that we've done. But when you look at Georgia and you look at Alabama and you want to go back to when we were playing LSU, look at LSU and some of those teams, I mean, you can't argue. They just are putting more players in the draft. They got a better development program.
It's insane to say that we've kept up with some of those programs against playing them and actually been able to be in the game with them with how
the discrepancy in the talent.
Yeah. So
well, I think that I don't think we ever finished talking about that on the podcast this morning. You know, to have the lead a couple of years ago in the Alabama game and it take them to throw a fourth down pass in the end zone, which I hate to even bring that up. But for them, if you look at their roster comparable to ours 2 years ago, wasn't even close.
Right.
Georgia, the same way, really took Brock Bowers, you know, having a phenomenal final drive to win that game for Georgia.
Right.
And their rosters were so much heavier with 5-star and 4-star guys than ours. So we ran off a stat. We'll pull that one up here again too on how the star ratings from high school directly correlate to guys getting drafted. And numbers don't lie. As much as I don't really like math a lot, I never liked math in school, numbers really are what they are. They don't lie. And so I think it was 82 or 3%?
81%, I thought.
81% of, and we'll dive into that here. We'll pull it up here in just a minute. But somewhere in the low 80s, you're either a 5 or 4-star guy. Got drafted last night in the first round. So talk about some of I know we pulled up the number of draft picks, most NFL draft picks by team since 2000, Faith. Who's at the top of that list?
Would you believe it, with Ohio State at 167?
167 guys drafted since 2000. So in the last 25 years.
I would believe it.
I would too. And then, of course, Emeka Egbuka gets drafted by the Bucs last night. So I was fine with that.
Yeah.
Got a quality wide receiver in the first round. But again, that's an astonishing number. But guess who's right behind him?
Alabama with 164. So again, it's insane to say that we've been able to in some of the games
right.
be able to keep up with them and with their talent. And so Georgia following behind them with 157.
Nick Saban era is over, and Kalen DeBoer, look, won 9 games, didn't make the playoffs, didn't compete for the SEC championship. We talk about Hugh Freeze being under pressure this year. He's definitely under pressure. Billy Napier. We can go down the list, but Kalen DeBoer is under pressure in year 2.
Especially by the Alabama fans.
Absolutely.
Like,
no
just
question.
Knowing that he didn't accomplish what, every coach in, I guess, program history, or not history, but
well, he actually the star in his crown is he won 9 games in his first year.
Yeah,
but he didn't
without making the
postseason.
playoffs. So
I think that's probably the biggest knock is that they expanded to 12 teams and they didn't make it
with 9 wins. That's crazy.
But Alabama and Ole Miss were kind of in the same boat. They were, right there on the verge. If you don't lose to Vanderbilt, if you're Alabama, if you don't lose to Kentucky, if you're Ole Miss, you're in the playoffs. And but you did, and it kept you out. Now, we talked about this last week, or earlier this week. I can't remember when it was, but the meetings in Dallas, I think, were this week on the college football playoffs, and there's several different things that are going into play that are going to determine who makes the playoffs moving forward and who doesn't. And I know one of the crazy things that was brought up was TV ratings. It's just wild to me, the things that are being talked about and the things that are being, I guess, considered to who makes the college football playoff. And again, when you expanded to 12, you were trying to get the 12 best teams in the playoffs, but
for having it be the TV ratings able to decide, I feel like that has to do with just so much of how the media world is changing. And I mean, you think about it, for a lot of people, they're streaming how many games at once because they've got that. But then you also think about the bars that have how many people watching in there.
Tons.
And watch parties at people's houses. You're not.
How do you count that?
So that's where I'm. How can that be
considered, or how does that come into play?
Right.
I don't know. I mean, I know that those numbers can probably be a little bit deceiving, but I mean, they're just going to have to go off, rating share, and it's a no-brainer that the SEC and the Big Ten dominate the airwaves.
Right.
So it's not complaining from our part because we're going to have maybe an unfair advantage. Let's be honest about it. But you got the ACC who is dying, and the Pac-12 that's already dead, that's gone. So then you only have the Big 12 left. So it's going to be skewed toward the Big Ten and the SEC. And I think we all knew that that's the direction of college football. The bigger name programs, it was a bidding war, and it was a race to see who you could go grab. The SEC goes and gets Texas and Oklahoma, and then the Big Ten answers, and they go get USC, and they go get Oregon, and they go add all these teams. So it's really outside of a few in the ACC and the Big 12 has been consolidated down to 2 conferences. It's a battle between 2 conferences.
It is. And we were talking about it a little bit last night about how, what is this, a minor league now?
Right.
Of the NFL.
Crazy. Well, let's just look at the NFL draft picks, and actually we'll save this for the next segment here. I know we'll have Eric come up here because we wanted to talk to him about this awesome place that we're in, and we love being on location. But I want to go back, and we didn't go down the list, but the most draft picks since 2000, where are most of the teams? What conference is most of the teams in? Well, they're in the SEC and the Big Ten.
Yep. So
we're going to run that down here in just a second. But we are up against our first break here for the TV side of things. Again, here on location at Lake Martin Grocery on Highway 49, just down from Dayville, right here beside the gates of Stillwaters. Make sure if you're in this area, you come out. This place is awesome, and we're glad to be partnered up with them. We're going to take our first break. Stay tuned. More of the Auburn Blitz coming up right after this. Right. So hopefully we'll get Eric in here in just a minute. So Auburn has not had a first-round draft pick since Noah Igbenogany, and the only other team with a longer drought than that is Vanderbilt. So,
Yeah,
and they haven't had a first-rounder since 2008.
Hearing that Vanderbilt.
That's not who you want to be rooting with. When you're talking about football stats and you're talking about being compared with somebody and you're in the sentence with Vanderbilt, that's not a good deal. So,
yeah.
But we are here at Lake Martin Grocery. We're glad that you have joined us, or you're tuning us in whenever it is, if you're live or if you're watching later when we're recorded. People love to come up and talk to Lucy. Don't they?
Say hi. Say thank you. Thank you. Say thank you.
All right, so we'll talk about the biggest surprise in the draft last night was maybe Shedeur Sanders not getting drafted in the first round.
Yes.
So not getting drafted in the first round, and how far down will he fall? And who's willing to take Shedeur Sanders? We don't know. But we'll go down through that.
Did you see
as
what
well.
he said on it?
Oh, I saw what he said.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably why he didn't get drafted.
We all didn't think it would happen like this.
We all knew it shouldn't have happened.
We all knew it shouldn't have happened. Yeah, that's what it was.
Why shouldn't it have? So,
Why did it happen, Lou?
she don't really care. All she cares about is these treats over here.
She's looking for it.
The first thing everybody asks about her, by the way, is she friendly? Because she is, I mean, she's pretty, as far as if you walked up, you're like, man.
Scary.
No, you're not scary. All right, so on break here for TV.
Where's Eric?
I don't know
He's right
yet.
there. He's right there.
Is he right there?
You
You want to go grab him?
Yeah.
Yep, go grab him.
I'll show you guys Lucy too.
Look. Here you go.
You ready? It's showtime for you.
Come on up here, buddy. You're in the hot seat, man. They're always hot. Always hot. You like our desk right here?
Hello.
That's how we do it, man. We're going to talk about our racing that went on. You slide over this a little bit. Yeah. I think that would garner some views. Say, man, that's crazy. They've lost their mind.
Yeah.
So I think we're about 30 seconds out coming back from break. So we're still live on stream. So we got people watching on Facebook and YouTube. But Kane's typing a lot. There he goes. That's a long 30 seconds. So now we got 30 seconds. Eric, glad to be down here, though, buddy. It's nice. The place is really, really nice.
Appreciate you coming down.
Yeah, man. You get to watch people play golf right here. So
That's it.
hard to beat. Hard to beat. So we'll do a little promo here. We got about 10 seconds, and then we'll promo some other things. Mark said he loves Lake Martin Grocery. So there, I mean, you get. All right, welcome back, everyone, to the Auburn Blitz here, brought to you by Russell Do-It Center and Building Supply Stores, J. Smith Construction and Excavation, and Sensa Green. We are at Lake Martin Grocery here on Highway 49, just outside of Davil, right outside the gates of Stillwaters. You can hear people coming in and getting the carts right now.
Yeah,
and that's been going off the whole time we've been here.
It's been busy. So we've got a great group for sure, and the community is just phenomenal.
Yeah, it is. Mark just commented he loves Lake Martin Grocery. This place is awesome. And Tony, I'll get to your comment here in just a minute about TJ Finley. I mean, that guy's, I think he's on a college tour. He's trying to go to see if he can set the Guinness record for playing for the most teams in the country. But Eric, we're glad that you welcomed us and we partnered with you here. And, you know, once a month, we're going to be somewhere. We won't necessarily be here at the grocery store, but I think we got something planned. You're going to have to help me out next month.
Yeah.
I mean, you leave me hanging down here at the hair salon with Faith and Tess. Okay. So, but unfortunately, everybody missed me and him racing on the carts in here. We took a couple laps around. We really didn't, but we pondered it for a minute.
we did. It was a good idea.
You think it would draw some attention if we sold some tickets to that? People come watch that.
They'd watch it.
Yeah, like two grandpas going around in circles in here. But anyway, just tell everybody about the vision of Lake Martin Grocery and what made you decide. You're not a grocery guy. You were like I remember you telling me like, man, I don't know anything about grocery stores.
Nothing at all. We just felt like there was a need to build it, and we were lucky enough we did. We've got phenomenal people that work down here. Everyone brags about how courteous the staff is. They're just great people.
That's extremely important in any business, really, is the customer service.
Yeah, no doubt. And then we had just finished the cart path. So we built a cart path from Stillwater's to the grocery store. We added lights, added the concrete, but now people can actually come from inside Stillwater's and never touch 49, so they can drive the golf cart back and forth. So
Wow,
it was a huge addition. So
well, all of this has developed so much, and I know you're a big part of everything that's being developed, but there's other people that are developing things up and down this highway. This is really becoming a major thoroughfare, and it's a very accessible place to Auburn. And I know a lot of our audience that lives and works in Auburn, they may vacation on the lake, and they know all about the different restaurants up and down through here with Oscars and Niffers and everything. But the Prime Steakhouse, you took that over, and man, what a this place was. Not just this area, but the whole county was starved for a true steakhouse here.
Exactly. We got really lucky. Amy Young, she is phenomenal, the general manager there, and then our chef Brian Cosby. He is just
He may be one of the best, seriously,
without a doubt. So I put Prime up against any steakhouse just because of the people that we have. So they are, like I said, fantastic for sure.
And you guys are still working on finishing things up there. We did some remodeling there. You're gonna have, are y'all gonna have outdoor seating?
We are, yeah. We got some big events coming up this year, live music and so forth. We just added oysters 2 weeks ago.
Talk about that. How many did y'all go through?
To 1,500 oysters the first weekend. That's just Thursday, Friday, and Saturday night.
Getting those things shipped in fresh.
Yeah.
So, again, you can't go wrong. I've been to Prime probably 4 times now, and I've had something different. Every time I go, I can't get the pork chop, though. When they came and did the show that time, and they brought Brian and they brought all that stuff, and look, the steak's great, the pasta's great, all the different things. But the pork chop, I'm like, man, I can't wait to have another one. I've been 4 times there, and I can't get the dadgum pork chop, man. What's going on?
Yeah, you got to get there. So we sell out every Saturday night.
Wow. Yeah. So I'm telling you, I guess you need to go camp out. I guess that's what I'm gonna need to do to get a pork chop again from Prime. But here at the grocery store and the developments, talk about Stillwater's too, because we're going to be out there some throughout the summer. You really put a lot of time and effort into trying to get that golf course back to a premier place for people to come and travel and play.
They've done a phenomenal job just getting it back. The greens look good, the course looks good, our ratings, everything's up on that, and so it's just a great community. Everyone down here has been so supportive. Stillwater's is turning around. It's a great place to be, and people realizing it's only 20 minutes to Auburn. So they're realizing you can move to Stillwater's, live in there. I think there's close to 200 new homes being built or about to be built.
Wow.
So it's really grown.
It's a happening place. And, again, remember back in the heyday of Stillwater's, they had 2 courses. And, they built the one that's active now. And I've seen the transformation in the short amount of time and the hard work that you got. And look, again, that's a major undertaking to go back and redo those greens and get those things. When we passed by the other day, that's the first thing that popped to me was how good those greens looked. And I remember how bad they did. They looked.
Yeah, it was in rough shape, and it's a crash course. We didn't know anything about the grocery store, didn't know anything about the restaurant, didn't know anything about the golf course. So
just take a stab at it, guys. Say if you want to just dive into something, come talk to this man. He'll just tell you to just take the leap, right?
That's it. Just jump.
So
we did get some exciting news. And Ace Hardware is coming right here on 49 in the next year. So it's
That
it's
is
about
awesome.
it's about
Now
to
you
take
you
off.
gave me a little bit of a hint of that. Is everybody good at home?
It's
see,
not
tell
me. It's not me. Yeah.
You,
Yeah.
I remember
Listen,
you were like, if I take on one more thing, I may be outcast of my house. But that's awesome. So I didn't know that. So yeah, that is another development right here on 49.
It is. So it's about to expand, about to grow.
There's really not much around this area that you long for now. You don't have to travel, in a long distance either way to go get groceries, to go get anything that you're looking for. So
I mean, we got the top-notch dentist. We got an amazing doctor's office right here. So everything in this strip mall is its own really little city.
it's kind of been its own little town, like you said. Well, Eric, it's always, you've been partnered with us for a long time, and we appreciate, what you do and for our programming and being bought in with us. And we're looking forward to this rotation again. I'm going to hold you to it, man. You can't leave me hanging next week. Next month.
Both of us may get a little.
We might get a little color put in. I need it.
I
I told you when it was more pepper than salt, I was fine with it. I've never been a big salt guy anyway. Now it's more salt than pepper. Something got to change. So, and then, people are going to walk in and say, hey, did you die? I'm like, you dang right I did, because I'm tired of looking at this white stuff coming up. So, well, Eric, appreciate you, man, so much. Always, hey, congratulations on all your establishments and everything you got going on. Thank you for letting us come in here and do the Auburn Blitz. And again, we're going to be back next month at Tessa's place. And we're actually going to be here twice because before I let you go, talk about the event that's coming up next month. Is it May 19th?
May 21st.
May 21st.
May 21st. So May 21st, it's going to be a big day. Backyard Dreams is opening up. That's their grand opening. They're going to have Riley Green here. So he'll be here signing autographs. And then they'll also have Coach Rich Rodriguez. He'll be here as well. So it's going to be a huge, huge day.
Riley Green, folks.
Yeah.
Riley Green. So come out and, man, the outdoor kitchen out here is unbelievable. And he's building samples inside the shop. So you can come in there and shop and look and see what you want at your house. So
Exactly.
I can envision myself, man, with that at my house in the fall outside.
Oh, yeah.
A little bit. I'm glad it's getting hotter. I don't want to go back to cool weather, but if I'm going to go back to that, I can see myself sitting out there on a cool fall night and having a fire, and it's just an awesome place.
So he's going to do a great job for sure.
Oh, absolutely. So come check it out down 49 right here. Like we said, we're at Lake Martin Grocery today, but Stillwater's area, all the different restaurants, just so much to do up and down. And then didn't even mention real quick, Lucky Craft Bottle Company. Shop.
State of the art. So the top.
That is a cool place.
It is. Annie does a great job. She's got the most advanced technology I've seen.
Absolutely. So, well, Eric, appreciate you, brother. We're going to take another break here on TV. So everybody stay tuned. More of the Auburn Blitz coming up right after this.
Thanks, sir.
Appreciate you, brother.
Sorry,
That's good stuff, man. A lot going on.
It is.
And next month's going to be packed. I'm excited. Yeah, we're going to have, I guess our hair will be done just in time for the Riley Green show.
We got to get our hair done. Well, ain't that what they always say?
She ain't got much to work with, but it's, whatever.
We'll get you some extensions put in.
Yeah, let me get some extensions put in.
Bring that mullet back.
See you, buddy.
Appreciate
Yeah, man.
Bye. Thank you.
All right, Tony. Yeah, TJ Finley. I sent that to Faith earlier. I'm like, I don't know. Something's wrong with that guy, man. I just like he is. I mean, he just transferred to Tulane, and now he's transferring out. I don't understand it. So, I just got notification of a possible Auburn player getting in the portal. We'll talk about that when we come back on TV
Really?
side. Yeah, I'm a little bit disappointed.
Really? Did you have to just drop that?
So now will Auburn be looking at that position even more? We did say that was a potential
A big
that we
one.
would we could see that Auburn might add a guy there, but we'll just have to wait and see. Now this may create a little bit of urgency.
I'm reading it for you. Hang on.
What is going? I
She
have no idea what's going on over here to
just
my
tried
left.
to lick it and then flip the cup. You silly.
She's trying to
get you some
attack the
water.
cup over here.
Mhm.
All right, so on break for TV. Again, we are here at Lake Martin Grocery on Highway 49, just up from Stillwater's. And this place is awesome. I mean, they have got every single thing that you could possibly think of that you need. This was such a need store here in this area. So come out to Lake Martin Grocery. And then, of course, next month we'll be back down here in this area again at Tessa's Salon right up the strip mall. And Faith's excited about that. So we're going to do something. We're not going to unveil what we're doing. I won't be doing anything. It'll be what Tess and Faith will be doing.
You won't be doing anything?
Well, I will be doing the show while you have something being done, but
they already heard what you and Eric
Well,
said.
I mean, that might not be. We'll see if that's serious or not. Will I do it? Yeah, I probably will. So
Please look at her right now.
she's a little thirsty, a little parched over here. I know people are sitting there like, what is the noise going on?
Oh, you're just a thirsty girl.
So Kane, give me a 30, and then we'll be ready to roll on TV. Again, thanks to everybody that tunes us in. Thanks to Russell Do It Center, Building Supply Stores, and thanks to J. Smith Construction and Excavation, and of course,
Sense of Green for air that's cool and clean.
I think you've been relegated to that duty from now on.
Hey, and I'm okay with that.
Even after I told Wade that I think you do a better job than he does at that. And the Sense of Green guy, I think he seconded that.
I think he did
yesterday.
too. Look. I know it.
All right, so a little bit of news coming across the wire there on a potential Auburn player getting in the portal. As the portal window comes to a close now, it's getting very close to ending.
Yeah, did you and Eric have a nice talk?
We had a great talk. I mean,
I could hear y'all were talking about the steak house that, again, I wasn't invited.
Oh, here we go. Well, we will make sure you're invited next time. All right, we got 30 seconds now before we come back. I'll just refrain from talking about how good the food was, especially since everybody knows now how much Faith loves steak. It's your favorite food. Would you say that's your favorite? Like, is that your favorite food?
Yeah,
Okay.
there's no doubt.
Without a doubt. Now, the board that they bring out to us at Pepper Tree, which we're about to talk about here in just a second,
Also unmatched.
it's really unbelievable. All right, welcome back, everyone, to the Auburn Blitz here halfway through our program. We are on location at Lake Martin Grocery on Highway 49 here in just down from Dayville, just outside of Stillwater's here. Just had Eric McKinley on. Glad to have him talk about the vision of why this came about and all the different things they've got going on, the projects and stuff. But another partner here on the program that we love is Pepper Tree Steaks and Wine. And as we were just talking off the TV side, Faith really loves steak. And that board they bring out to us while we're doing the show, I mean, that's hard. That's torture, man.
It is. It's really, really hard to actually have a conversation while
You and Coach Pruitt.
while there's steak and just a board full of red meat right in front of me. So that was probably one of the most challenging things I've had to conquer. To say the least, with this job. This job, there's not that many hard things, but that one right there.
That's pretty tough.
That was hard for me.
And the smell of all the great food that they bring out. And so Pepper Tree Steaks and Wine on East Glen in Auburn, or in Pepper Tree in Montgomery, Kathy and Kim and everybody that's associated with them. Of course, Paula, we give a shout out to Paula every time. Do a great job, and full selection of wine, full selection of any type of side dish or casserole. You had some of that this weekend?
I did. I had some of the casseroles and the twice baked potatoes. So glad my parents sent me home with the leftovers of that because they were actually gone that same night.
Inhaled.
Yeah, I can confirm. And the bread there that they have is fresh. And
what's not good there? But anyway, Pepper Tree Steaks and Wine, check them out. Partnered up with them too. Always glad to be on location when we're there at their place. So check them out. Great people, great stuff. Jeff, I don't want to leave Jeff out back there in the back cooking and getting all the stuff prepared. He and Kathy have been together for a long time. So go check them out. All right, a little bit
Wait, she's getting
she's
married
getting married
tomorrow.
Is it this weekend?
Yeah, it's tomorrow.
Well, congratulations again to
Yes.
Kathy. I knew it was close, but I didn't know exactly the date, and so Kathy's is getting married, and so
congratulations.
there you go.
Yeah, I totally forgot about that.
I didn't know exactly what weekend it
Yeah,
was.
it's
So it's
tomorrow.
awesome.
Yay.
Congratulations. Love Kathy and hope everything goes well. It's like the weather's going to be really nice.
Yeah.
So that's a positive thing. All right. So,
beautiful day outside today.
oh man, it's
Just
gorgeous.
out there. Well, it's hot though.
It's going to be a scorcher for sure. Coming up this summer. All right. So, to try to look at some info, and what's happened with Auburn football. Rico Walker, the tight end transfer from Maryland, played in 4 games last year, appears to be getting in the portal. So again, that was a position that we talked about with Brandon Frazier, that
Maybe being able to add some depth and some experience and stuff.
I think Rebel Yell just said it perfectly. Very strategic. Faye talking about red meat, make the algorithm explode. We grew up on Pepper Tree being from Montgomery. Try the loaded baked potatoes if you haven't. There you go. Rebel Yell with a little promo there of Pepper Tree. And we're glad that he jumped in there. The loaded baked potato, didn't you? I mean, they're all great. Everything there is great. But all right, getting back to Rico, again, maybe right here at the very end, and we had just talked about how Auburn had really survived the portal and not had a lot of people get in the portal.
Yeah.
So,
we didn't see him too much at all last season. So, not that I think it won't be a big part losing him, but I think it probably. We could definitely add another piece there even before.
Well, once you're in the portal, you're in the portal. It's just when the portal cuts off, it means you can't get in anymore. So when the portal closes, you can't get in. If you're already in the portal, so Auburn can go out if they feel like they need to add another person in that tight end room, they will.
Do you think that they do, especially after losing him now?
I think
Brandon Frazier was just hurt a lot last year. And
he's been hurt a lot in his career.
I just hope that he can stay healthy because, again.
All right, from a depth chart situation, I mean, you got Preston Howard, who is a redshirt junior, backing him up. And then, of course, Tate Johnson, who moved over from the offensive line.
But I still just feel like that's.
Yep. He said that Rico got pushed out. Revelio said Rico pushed out. I think we'll put Perry in that spot. You talking about Perry Thompson? I don't know that I didn't see him work with tight ends at all in the spring.
I think Tate Johnson being there again, that's just he's not a veteran in that position. He doesn't have very much experience.
Right.
He might have done it in high school, but that's again, you don't have the same collegiate experience where it's just not the same. So that's why I think going out and finding somebody in the portal would.
Now, I will say this, and I haven't really thought about it. If you were to take a guy, one of those bigger receivers, and slide them into that position to get them on the field, in addition to those wide receivers, it might not be a bad idea if they could pull that off. I'm not saying that's going to happen.
He'd be good at blocking in that position as a tight end, but I don't know.
Yep. And again, there's various ways, and like Rebel said, there's ways to use the tight end. We haven't done a really good job of using the tight ends. I mean, I know Rivaldo Fairweather last year was, he's hit and miss, but we haven't done as good a job probably as we should have or could have, no doubt about it. All right, we're up against another break here on the program. We'll stay up, obviously, on YouTube and Facebook and all of our streams. So stay tuned. More to come here. Only Auburn Blitz right after this. Yeah, I know it. Just playing into it. Keep the comments coming. And I'm not.
Look at Lucy just absolutely being a chiller.
Yep, she's laid out. So Perry, I mean, that could be an option. I mean, you got a lot of options there at wide receiver that you really good talented players, and you want to try to get as many of them on the field at the same time as you can. So it's not a stretch.
Yeah.
So we have a little breaking news from the golf team as well, so we'll pass along. Wow.
He's
well, he's just got ice in his veins when it comes down to the end. We'll talk about this when we come back for TV, but this kid's unbelievable, man. He is without a doubt the best player in the country. Yeah, Horatio Fields is a big guy.
I feel like that one makes more sense than Perry does for sure. But
I mean, they could be worked in maybe. So maybe it's not an extremely big need to go out and grab another body in the portal, but we'll see. Helicopter just took off.
Oh, no.
You can look at the billboard out there and see the Prime Steakhouse promotion.
Oh, see, I can't see that. I get the golf course view, which is not that this isn't entertaining, but I feel like I've got two things to go back and forth to. I want to see who's putting it and stuff. There's the flag.
Well, I have a good friend that was at Wake Forest, and he actually played football at Wake Forest, and he told us, you guys are getting a gym in Horatio Fields. Maybe not the numbers up there, and he said, don't let that be deceiving. And Faith, you and I watched him in practice, and saw, just from a sheer physical standpoint, the matchup problems that he's going to pose for teams.
There's no doubt.
Yep. So
we've said he just didn't have too much to work with over at Wake Forest.
Right.
So hopefully this will be, the better fit for him.
He's going to have opportunities for sure. I'm just blown away by the golf here.
I know.
That's why we're in everything school, right?
Exactly.
Good in one thing. Let's do a refresh and see if that was the final scores. I think Auburn just won it, 38 minus 38. They ended up running away with it. Yeah, I mean, again, I think that's the whole deal is I don't know who's out there to grab, and then Alabama goes and grabs a guy that had one catch. So if you got some guys you feel more comfortable moving around and you can get them on the field and keep them happy, maybe that's and we've seen the tight end position. We know how important it is in the NFL. Got 30 seconds, everybody, before we come back to TV, and then we'll talk about the golf.
It's getting packed over here.
It's getting packed.
Martin Grocery.
That's right. Awesome place to be, by the way.
Yeah, it's
really, really nice. Lucy's in good shape. She gets getting fed treats over here.
It's not like she doesn't normally.
She's well taken care of. All right, welcome back, everyone, to the Auburn Blitz. Couple segments left in the show today. We'll stay up live a little while longer after the show goes off. I want to continue to interact with some of you out there. I want to add some comments. But, again, our program brought to you by Russell Do It Center and Building Supply Stores, J.A. Smith Construction and Excavation, and Sensagreen.
For air that's cool and clean, call them Sensagreen.
And so we're glad to have them partnered with us. Glad to be here at Lake Martin Grocery and our own the road tour that started last week at JR's. We'll be on the road on Fridays most of the time, sometimes Thursdays, sometimes some other opportunities, depending on what promotions are going on at certain businesses. But we're going to be traveling most of the time now, and being out. So come and frequent these places. We appreciate their support of our show, and in turn, we want to reciprocate that and fill their businesses up. And this has been a nonstop. I mean, it's been nonstop since we've been here.
Yeah, it has been, and everyone's nice here too.
That even makes it even better.
The customers, the staff, employees, everybody.
All that. All right, so let's talk some golf. And just an update on the overall. Auburn minus 38. I think the round is over now. I'm not 100% sure, but minus 38 to win the stroke championship part of the deal. And LSU at minus 29. LSU had actually taken the lead today early when we were doing the podcast. But we remember we said there's plenty of time. Yep. Here's one of the reasons why Auburn overtook LSU. Sophomore Jackson Coyven birdied 5 of the last 6 holes, Kate.
Yep. And we've talked about how he's just all year, this year and last year, he was just a dog. He was so talented, or is so talented. And the last person to become back-to-back winning SEC titles was Phil Hancock in 1976. And so
it's pretty
Oregon
impressive.
Is now the second, I guess.
That's right. Players win multiple SEC titles. Not very many. Like you said, Phil Hancock from Florida back in 75, 76.
But that's back-to-back.
That's back-to-back, right.
This is just multiple.
That's exactly right. Phil Hancock, the last back-to-back, but then there's been a handful of guys to win it twice, but then Jackson Coyven, as a freshman and sophomore, to do what he's done. I mean, this guy's unbelievable. And so he wins the individual SEC title in the stroke play. Now we had to match play, and Auburn will try to repeat from that last year as well. So looking forward to that. But Coach Kleiner and that group, just so much fun to be around. Such a good group of guys.
They are.
And they're kicking everybody's tail. There's no other way to spin it. So congratulations to them. I know they've still got work to do tomorrow and Sunday, but we'll be watching that. You can tune that in and watch that live stream, probably on the Golf Channel. I believe that's where it was last time.
I think so, yeah.
It may be on the SEC Network as well. We'll try to get a schedule of that before we go off the air for everybody, so you can watch that. But the top 8 move on to match play. Auburn obviously will be leading that charge as the 1 seed going into match play tomorrow.
Yep.
What a comeback this morning, though, after LSU surged yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, when I was talking to Brandon, he told us that when he wasn't playing that well, Coach Kleiner would make sure that the bullies know that they're not playing up to their full potential. And I think the way that he does it is a good way of encouragement, and not to tell the kids that they're not doing well, but to tell them that, hey, you've got more potential than this. You can go out there and turn it around. You're the one that makes the decisions for yourself. So Coach Kleiner, we really like him, and think
he's been a big friend of our program since day one. Big supporter, and again, we appreciate what he does for us. And man, he has built a tremendous program. And when we were at the golf facility, that place is awesome.
Oh my gosh, it's so nice. They've got some of the most, I feel like, advanced techniques of different things all in there. And so, we love going over there, and hopefully
they're gonna let you get a shot next time.
I don't know if they want me to.
Why not?
I don't know.
Could be the hidden gem over there. So, but if they could only see your video that I've got from bunkers, that would be.
My shoulder will come out, and it'll be more power, though. I think
that's exactly right.
Better rotation.
Add that leverage on there. So
there you go.
So again, we'll pass that along to you guys here in a little bit. Try to look up a TV schedule, a streaming schedule for that. Ed said it's absolutely amazing when you have the best players, how the outcome seems to work out. War Damn Eagle, AU Golf, absolutely. It's all about players. We'll go back to the NFL draft, and we're going to go take our last break here in just a second. But we'll finish on the NFL draft. And Ed's right, it's kind of been the theme of the day.
Yeah.
The best players correlate to wins. on the field and correlate to going on and being the best pros.
Yeah.
And there's no secret there to that. But again, IU golf has been on fire for 2 years, and they're continuing that streak. Hopefully, they can finish out in match play. But going back to kind of Ed's point in football, Faith, I'll let you read that out again.
Yeah, from just last night, there were 11 5-stars and 15 4-stars. Wow. And then 4 3-stars and 2 non-rated. And this is by 24/7. So 81.3% of players drafted tonight. So of blue chip players. So
In the first round.
Or last night, I guess.
Yep.
But yeah, that's a good job on 24/7's part for sure.
Yeah, because I mean they take pride in trying to evaluate and see what the ranking
Yeah.
should be. So they got 81% of the people drafted last night were either a 4 or 5-star player.
And it's all about getting those guys to make your team better and
Right.
be able to win some games. And that's been kind of a hard time for Auburn to win some games and have some guys drafted
Right.
in the first round.
Absolutely.
So
Well, and we'll talk about that coming up. We'll finish up with a little NFL draft talk, and then maybe the future. If you didn't see the podcast this morning, who we think was on Gary Harris's show in Tuscaloosa
Yeah.
a little bit earlier this morning, and I got asked that question of who we think the next first round will be for Auburn. So we've got our take on that. So
Yep.
we'll come back and we'll talk about that as well. All right, one final segment coming up here on the Auburn Blitz, live on location at Lake Martin Grocery.
Well,
What's up, brother?
not much.
Getting the meat for today?
Yeah, look at that white good.
Oh my gosh.
God, dude, she is a state girl too. Hey man, I got to get over there and get that pork chop again, brother.
Saturday night.
I know that's what it is. I can't ever get the daggum thing. I've been down there. We were there Friday night. I just ate shrimp.
Yeah.
So outstanding, by the way. But yeah, we'll be back, man. Y'all doing a hell of a job.
Appreciate it. When you come in, holla at me.
I will, buddy. I'll give you a shout. Good to see you, brother. Good to that. Outstanding.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Shador Sanders saga kind of stole the show.
I think I calls me back.
Surely it will. I won't send him a text.
I should?
I mean, just yeah, maybe
Oh, following
yeah,
up,
just
yeah.
following up. Yeah. Carson finished third. Brendan finished ninth. I mean, they all shot. I mean, when you finish ninth and you shot 7 under, that's some people scoring, man. Impressive. Yeah, Ed, I agree, man. You know, you can go out and get the best players. I mean, Rutgers basketball team this year, they went out and spent all that money and had all these top guys, and they didn't even make the tournament. So, you know, it's on the coach to help manage the personalities and the players on the team and to kind of keep everything on track, keep everything together. So,
Yes, ma'am. Say hello. Oh my goodness. Say thank you.
yeah. Auburn loves Sea Island Golf Club, I can tell you that. Play well there.
Oh, you're getting so much attention, aren't you? You're getting so much attention.
Nobody was shot by the number 1 pick last night. I won't even go back into that from this morning.
Golly.
Stuff that will always be etched in your brain. You'll never be able to unhear or unsee. about to have our last segment come up, so on TV, and we'll stay on a little bit longer here at Lake Martin Grocery. It's been a great day here. Just awesome place. If you're in this area, in the Auburn area, if you're in Lake Martin area, period, whatever, on this side, on Highway 49, just outside of Stillwater's, this place is phenomenal. Faith and I had a chance to walk through here several times, and they've got everything that you would want.
Yeah.
You have to go nowhere else.
Great prices too.
That's important. That's probably the most
Yeah.
important thing
For me, at least.
for everybody.
Yeah, I think so.
All right, welcome back, everyone, to the Auburn Blitz here on the final segment of the show. And we'll be up here live a little bit longer online on YouTube and Facebook and our streams as we come to you live from Lake Martin Groceries. Place is awesome.
Yep, people are filtering in and out.
As you can hear from the buggies.
Yeah, it has stayed consistently busy, but yeah, it's a great place over here. And Eric was, nice enough to let us come here and shoot the show. And yeah, it's awesome.
It is. Again, just kind of recapping. If you didn't see, Auburn Golf wins the stroke part of the SEC championship, and they'll move into match play as the number 1 seed. Jackson Coyven wins the individual title again for the second consecutive year.
Yep.
So really, really, really awesome for them to have lost the lead this morning to LSU and then to come back and take it over and then win, really kind of just going away at -38 and then LSU at -29. So, all right, the teams that make it in are obviously Auburn, LSU, Texas A&M, Oklahoma, then Florida, Georgia, Texas, and Alabama ended up tied for 7th, so they make it into that top 8, and they finished at 600. So, man, look at the discrepancy from 8 to 1. It's just it's amazing. So, could Auburn be possibly paired up with Alabama tomorrow? Could.
I mean,
so if it's, I think it's done that way. I'll double check and make sure. We got time to look at that. All right, draft last night. Unfortunately, again, we've said this. Hate to belabor the point, but Auburn, nobody in the first round. So who's the first guy off the board for Auburn? It'd probably Jaquez Hunter or KLS.
probably,
I would say one of those two guys.
I would think so. I think it'd be Jarquez, and I just think he was such a good part of our season last year that we really needed, and
right.
He's going to be one of those guys that can go and succeed in the NFL too, because that's also an important part. We talked about Eugene Asante and how he was such an important piece of our defense last year and the last 2 years, but his size is not playing into his favor.
No,
in where he would play in the NFL. So I think that's something that's going to be tough.
Well, one thing I talked about on Gary's show this morning out of Tuscaloosa is that he brings a positivity to the locker room and an effort. And even though he might be with the intangibles, which the NFL to me really kind of goes overboard sometimes on, and you got to be the prototypical size for this position or this position. Some guys we've seen like Sam Mills in the past, an undersized linebacker, come in and just have a long career. I think Eugene has the work ethic and the drive to be that kind of player. And I think once he makes a team and finds his fit, could probably have a long NFL career.
Yeah, I'd say healthy.
Yeah,
that's also important. Of
course, that's always the most important part. But yeah, and then Jalen Crawford is the only other one I think that would have a chance. So you're looking at 4 guys for Auburn that would have a chance to be drafted. And I think the last 2 would probably be late. They'd be 6th or 7th round if they were. I think KLS and Jarquez have an opportunity to go 4th or 5th round.
Yeah.
somewhere in that range. I think KLS is a prototypical
Yeah.
NFL receiver.
I think he's got some serious talent that he'll be able to be a good addition to a team.
Absolutely. Recap Cam Ward. It just pisses me off every time I look at it. Because I think we had a legit opportunity to go get him last year. Would have been a better season for us. I know that ship sailed, but anyway, you look up and you see him taking it number one. And he was one of, by the way, you brought that up this morning. He was one of the ones that was not rated. So talk about the number one draft pick ended up
out
being
of the two, that were not rated. So, I mean, he's got a big career in front of him, I think. And a lot of the other things that people were looking at and talking about was how we talked about Shador, but also Jalen Milroe.
Yeah. Where does he fall in this whole thing? So interesting to see. But anyway, we will stay up for another maybe 25 minutes or so here at Lake Martin Grocery after we go off here for TV. We're going to close it out here. We only have 1 minute left for TV Faith. So we want to tell everybody, again, how much we've enjoyed being here at Lake Martin Grocery. As you can see,
fresh
look at all the
produce
great,
and everything.
it's just like right behind us.
Yeah.
And
see and hear everyone coming in and out.
that's right. We're right here at the front of the store, and place is awesome. You need to check it out on Highway 49 right here on the outskirts of Stillwater's, just down from Dadeville, Alabama. Again, we appreciate
some
it.
Golf from over here.
We've been watching golf the whole time. And having Eric stop by to talk about everything was great. So
yeah,
good stuff. We're going to sign off for TV. Again, want to thank Russell Do It Center and Building Supply Stores, J. Smith Construction and Excavation in Cincy Green.
For air that's cool and clean.
For being our corporate partners here on the program. We hope all of you have a wonderful weekend, safe weekend out there, and go be nice to people and go do some good things for Faith. I'm Brett saying we've enjoyed it. We hope you have
the best day ever.
And War Eagle.
War Eagle.
All right, so we will stay up for a little while longer for some of you out there. So we need to look up TV schedule for golf, right?
Yes, I think that's what we had to look up.
So TV, SEC Championship, golf. If any of you know where it would be, let us know. Is it going to be on SEC Network, or will it be on live on the SEC Network? Men's Golf Championship. So you can tune it in there on the SEC Network. 6 consecutive years, the final match play round will be televised live on the SEC Network. Unbelievable. It's crazy. All right, so the story of the draft last night was Shador Sanders dropping out of the first round. I'm not surprised. I mean, after everything that we were reading and hearing, a lot of the NFL coaches were turned off by the way he was acting in the interview process and that kind of, hey, look, it matters, man.
I think a lot of that classiness is, I said this earlier on the podcast, but I think a lot of the classiness is very respected at the NFL level, and I don't think they're doing a good job with the NIL and the way that people are just going back and forth in the transfer portal of keeping that classiness. I really don't think that is being taught to them because, I mean, that was a great example of that. And the same thing with the Nico situation. I think that was also a good example. They've got to have some regulation to some extent because you're supposed to go to college to make it to that next level. And
we've lost our way.
You can see how that has made a huge impact in Shador's draft stock and how he's no longer in the first round. I think that plays a huge part of it.
Now the question is, where does he go in the second round? I think Cleveland has the second pick. I think Cleveland has the second pick, or the fourth pick in the second round. So he could possibly go there. I don't know though. somebody may take, if he drops on down, could somebody like the Chargers pick him up and say, look, we're going to stick him behind, our guy and let's see what we do with him. At this point in time, who's willing to take the chance, I guess. I mean, he's definitely talented. Thought Jackson Dart there going to the Giants, and then Pittsburgh had a chance. A lot of people felt like Pittsburgh was going to grab Shedeur there, and when they decided not to go with him there, it was like, okay, the first round is out for him.
Yep. I think I've seen my entire Twitter feed has all been about Shedeur and everything on that.
Yeah, I couldn't keep. I mean, every time I scrolled, it was nothing but Shedeur stuff. But trying to pull up and see actually how the second round is going to go down here. Let's see, round 2 will be tonight, and actually Cleveland has the first and the 4th pick now in the second round. The Texans, who traded, will be the number 2 pick. Titans will be 3rd, and then so forth and so on. Tampa has, for all you Tampa Bay Buck fans out there, has the 21st pick. Just letting you know about that.
Yes, thank you, Brett, for.
I know everybody wants to know about that.
Yeah.
Everybody's
obviously
concerned about that. So, but yeah, I want to go back while we're still on and talk about, and if y'all have anything you want to add, again, we're on location here. We're wrapping up at Lake Martin Grocery. Just did our show that goes statewide on TV and radio. So we want to come back and kind of finish up. But you and I were looking at past drafts for Auburn. So going back to 2020, Auburn had Derek Brown and Noah Igbignogany drafted in the first round.
Can't believe 2020 was 5 years ago.
Is that not crazy? And that was I don't even know what 2020 was. That was just like a time warp. That year was so screwed up. Everybody walking around with a mask on, and I mean, it just weird, and everything shut down and can't go anywhere. And who worked? Did anybody work? I don't know. We survived it somehow.
Yeah, I don't think I worked during that time.
No, I'm
I
sure
didn't
you
even go to school.
That's what I'm saying. Nobody did anything.
I didn't
Like
even
they
have
just
school.
took the whole year off.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just weird to think back on what we did.
You guys played golf, and you guys can come and play golf at Stillwater.
Right. No more COVID though. No
More
more
bunkers.
That's right. And then, man, it has been like prior to that though, Faith. When you go to 2020, I mean, you have to scroll on back to 2014 to get a number 1 draft pick, a first round draft pick.
Can't be doing that.
And that was Greg Robinson and D Ford. They both went in the first. And Greg Robinson was the number 2 pick in the draft. You and I have been talking about the lack of offensive line, and we didn't really talk about that today either on the podcast or here. We're just talking about players in general getting drafted. But Auburn's only had 8 and 18 years offensive linemen drafted, and we just went through the numbers of how the programs that we have to compete against, how many in that specific position group they're putting in the NFL year in and year out. And we have 0. So if you want to wonder why Auburn hasn't competed at a high level, it's because of the lack of development on the offensive line and maybe even the quarterback position and certain things like that. So I read that off this morning on the podcast as well. Certain position groups that have been dominated by the SEC. I know Alabama dominated the offensive and the defensive back category. I think LSU had the most receivers.
Yeah.
I think Georgia and Alabama were like neck and neck for offensive linemen.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
So Auburn's nowhere to be found in any of those categories. That's a little disheartening. There. So where has Auburn stacked up in NFL draft picks since 2000? So 25 years, they're at the bottom with 90 draft picks in comparison to what you said earlier in the show with Ohio State with 167.
That's crazy. Like, we're down there by Virginia Tech and Iowa.
And there you go. All right, so let's talk. We never did go back to this.
Wait, but you know who isn't there on that?
Who's not there?
Vanderbilt. And that makes me feel better.
Well, yeah, I mean, these are the most NFL draft picks since 2000 of all schools.
I know. So Vanderbilt's
it's
all,
way on down there.
but
I
what
know
we were
we've
talking
been
about earlier.
about the
yeah.
longest drought of a first
Yeah.
rounder.
So at least Vanderbilt
Yep.
we're above them.
But like Vanderbilt's last first rounder was in 2008. Our last first rounder was in 2020. So I mean, that's really kind of a despairing stat. I mean, but we have the two longest droughts. All right, what we were talking about the playoffs and Big Ten and SEC having a little bit of an unfair advantage TV wise. Well, let's look and see. I mean, Ohio State, Big Ten, Alabama, Georgia, LSU, Florida, all SEC. Then you got Miami sandwiched in there from the ACC. Then you got USC, which is now Big Ten, Michigan, Big Ten, Florida State, another ACC. Then you got Oklahoma, and then you got Notre Dame that's independent. Penn State, Big Ten, Clemson, another ACC. Then Wisconsin, Tennessee, Auburn, Iowa, and Virginia Tech. It's heavily slated to Big Ten and SEC schools.
I just don't get it. It's the same thing as Lane Kiffin saying earlier about how. Sorry, I just got distracted because I just saw the Aubie Golf Club holder.
And the golf bag and the Auburn, the white, nice looking Auburn golf bag that just went by. So.
Okay, what I was saying though is how Lane Kiffin earlier.
You have had a good view. I didn't see any of that. You've been seeing all this go on.
Yeah, I told you.
Yep.
But Lane Kiffin earlier, when the playoff committee was selecting the teams and they didn't make it, he was like, well, why don't we just schedule the easiest schedule so that we can make it in or whatever. And I think we talked about a lot in basketball this year was the level of difficulty between teams. And if it's going to be between teams that are playing the easiest schedules and then who's got the highest rankings, what is college football anymore? Like, how can you determine? I don't know.
And then you're going to add TV ratings in there to try to determine. I mean, it's become a joke. It's lost. I mean, I'm telling you, it's been lost. So, the sport that we all grew up loving and watching, I mean, it's been decimated by really the lack of no rules. We wanted to pound the NCAA, and look, they made their own bed, and they've been a bad organization and made a lot of bad decisions. But when they tried to step in and try to regulate some things, they just got sued and lost in court. So now this is what we have.
It's just all withering away very quickly, I think, after the NIL got ruled and the transfer portal got ruled and then now this. And I just think
it sucks.
It's not
going in the wrong direction.
It's not any fun anymore.
We get fired up when the season rolls around. We've had this conversation. When the season rolls around, and when you're in the summer and you kind of chilled out and you're waiting for the season to get started, you get that hype again. You get that excitement. But then all this other crap creeps in, and I'll tell you what's going to be the straw that breaks the camel's back is when one of these players decides to sit out a game because their NIL deal wasn't what they thought it should be, or they're in negotiations, and they just go, okay, well, I'm not playing this week. And it could be the starting quarterback. I mean, we saw this happen with UNLV last year where the guy just decided.
Happening.
I'm telling you, we're on the cusp of that happening. That's the next hammer that's going to fall, because we saw in through this Nico thing, a little bit of the things that were being uncovered, that they were trying to hold out for the playoffs and say, well, that deal that we signed was for a regular season. You didn't include postseason. I mean, this is what we've got going on. And so now you're going to have a guy that may be in talks and mid-season and something happens. They go, well, I think I ought to be getting paid more. Or I think this isn't how I interpreted
So
the
many
deal.
of these guys are making more in college than they are going to be in the NFL, which is another one of
also
those
backwards.
things, which is like, why would they leave? This is why you have guys staying 6 years in college.
We haven't talked about this because it's relevant to basketball, but Chad Baker-Mazar is another prime example. Of a guy that came back and wanted to be part of this team after he had a deal already done, Faith,
Yep.
and decides to walk away and tries to shop himself around, which you have the freedom to do. Again, you're a big boy now. It's a big boy decision. And then you go, well, it didn't work out. Nobody came. Nobody offered me what I thought.
Me what I wanted. Okay. Well,
And I can tell you this, and I said this to you earlier in the week, it is absolutely part of the reason he didn't get picked up is the things that
the baggage he comes with.
that's it. And some of these programs are like, look, he's a good player and he is veteran and all this stuff, but he's not worth what he thinks he is. And some of these players, Nico included, walked away from a great deal, a great school, found out maybe his value wasn't what he thought it was. So he has to settle, take something lesser. Now he's in a state that charges umpteen million in taxes.
Yeah.
And so now he's going to lose that even. So anyway, it's crazy stuff. So, all right, if anybody else has anything, we're coming to an end here at Lake Martin Grocery. Again, want to thank Eric and his staff, and this place is awesome. Come to Lake Martin Grocery if you have not been here. Again, summer is right around the corner. Lake season is here upon us. And again, Lucy steals the show. What can I say?
Every time.
What can I say?
Every time.
So, but lake season up and down 49 here. So many great places to eat. I know Eric and Prime Steakhouse. Just talked to the chef here.
I know. I keep looking at that. And
I'm glad you're not watching this billboard that comes up with all the steak and stuff. So, but
I wasn't invited.
We just had Brian show us the chef. He was right here.
Yeah.
And taking the Wagyu beef over there to get it prepared for the night. So, man, it's some good stuff.
It's sad, but
it's coming. That we'll get to Prime. It's coming. All good things come to those who wait, right?
Very patient.
Very, very patient.
I won't bring Lucy to that one, so I don't have to share with her.
You don't share your steak, that's for sure.
Yes, I do with her, but I'm not going to bring her because
you don't want to share. You don't want to share.
But I did last night.
All right, we will be back on location again next week. Again, we're going to put a calendar out. Faith's going to do that. We're going to let everybody know where we're going to be all the way through football season. So and keep doing that. And we're going to be back in this area in a few weeks down at Tessa's place. I'm excited about that, seeing what all's going to happen with that.
Yeah, I'm excited. It's going to be a little bit of a different show, but I feel like that's going to be really fun.
We got to mix it up. We're going into the summer, so it's not just X and O talk all the time. We're going to have plenty of time to do that when fall gets here.
Yeah.
So we're going to lighten some things up. And our On the Road show with HSA coming up this week is going to be fun. It's going to be exciting. Have some cool stuff coming down the pipe there.
Going to my kind of place.
That's it. It's hard to go wrong when you go south toward the coast. And some really good teams down there in Gulf Shores and Orange Beach and Saraland and Spanish Fort and baseball, softball, all the things down there going on. They got it rolling down there. So we're going to be catching up with a bunch of them this coming up week. So make sure you tune our On the Road show in. Tune in on the front row. We got a bunch of stuff going on.
It's going to be up in 40 minutes.
You want to preview that for everybody a little bit?
Yeah, it's with Grant Davis. He's one of the swimmers, long distance swimmers for Auburn, and he went to the junior Olympic trials coming right out of high school. And you can hear about his resting heart rate that is mine is tripled that. So
and y'all dove all into
I dove
all
into
types of different topics there,
yeah, so. Trying to steal my thing from earlier today. I get it.
I gave you the credit for that. I said you did really well. You've been on a roll lately.
Thanks.
I was on a roll last night, by the way. So at the draft
Yeah, you
party.
were.
At the
You
draft
were.
party.
I just had
So
to think about that.
yep. But anyway, so yeah, check her on the front row episode out. It's coming out here in about 40 minutes on our YouTube channel right here. And we're going to push the links out on our pages. So you have no excuse not to watch it. Great guy there. And all of these, I've enjoyed them. I mean, I know I tell you that every time, but like I get to go be the camera guy. I get to be on the other side, and Faith and whoever she's interviewing, it's really cool to see them interact and kind of share how they got to Auburn and what they like to do outside of their sport and all that kind of stuff. And the tennis one, which we'll preview next week more, that we shot yesterday was awesome as well. That was, to me, maybe one of my most enjoyable. They've all been great, but she was awesome.
Yeah, she was awesome. DJ Bennett.
Yep.
The tennis girls, they're playing this weekend.
They are.
So keep up with them.
And she's really good.
She is really good. So
Number 4 in the country, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
Very, very talented.
So
Faith enjoyed it here from Lake Martin Grocery. Again, come and frequent this place. If you're in this area, if you're renting something here for the summer, so you don't have to go far. They've got everything that you need right here. So you can stock up right here, and you'll have everything you need. So great food up and down through here, great restaurants, great environment. You can play some golf. Just a vacation paradise is all I can tell you. So,
it is.
All right, that's going to wrap it up, folks. Everybody, we appreciate all of you that interact with us, and we thank all of our sponsors. We will be back with you on Monday for another episode of the Auburn Blitz podcast. No telling what's going to break this weekend. We'll do a golf recap. Hopefully the Auburn Tigers will be SEC champions once again. They just won stroke play. Congratulations to Jackson again on winning the individual title for the second year in a row. So a lot of great things. Hopefully Auburn, we ain't talking about Auburn baseball, Mississippi State home series this weekend. Auburn needs to win that series as they come down. Only 4 series left. Can you believe that?
No. Baseball season has flown by. So
I think the softball team's playing South Carolina at home this weekend. So all right, we're gonna get out of here. It's been fun. Hope everybody has
the best day ever.
and a big old
Where you go.